What is going on out there? This is Hero over here with the BDF Podcast. This is BDF Podcast number 14. And today we have a special guest by the name, the legend, the myth, of the name of Pablo Perez from the Ghana's Network Podcast. It's me, Hero, with Vincent Den, Chemo.
Yo.
And we're just chilling.
Oh, we started already.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry. I thought that was like the intro.
That is. That's your intro, bro.
That's
Because
your
like
intro.
Homero usually will do like a little intro and then we actually go into the podcast.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was like, that's what I thought you were doing, bro. My bad.
We're learning.
Learning, man. Nah, man. It's just going straight through. And we're talking about shit that happens.
Shit happens.
Hey, shit happens.
All the time.
Yes.
Be surprised.
When it happens. Life, lessons, whatever you guys want to talk about, shoot the shit. We're here smoking on our new
Atlantis 1.0 Star Buzz, baby.
Atlantis 1.0 Star Buzz hookah.
American-made Star Buzz.
American-made Star Buzz hookah with alpaca bowl. I love it. I love alpaca bowl. Shouts out to alpaca bowl. And
So it's kind of hidden in the video. You can't see it behind you.
yeah,
You should show it. Show it to everybody.
look how sexy this is, guys.
It's actually pretty cool, man. I like that bass. Or that bass.
We got a dream base on there. The Star Buzz.
I'm telling you, bro, it looks like an Alizé bottle.
Yeah, it does. It does,
That's what
right?
I'm saying, yeah.
It looks like Alizé bottle. We got the dream base, Atlantis stem, the Atlantis 1.0 stem. VD just picked it up today. He couldn't help himself. He was at Shisha Land and like a kid at a candy store. You don't send me and VD to Shisha Land. We always pick up more shit than we should.
Yes.
It's like going to Costco.
And then we got the Atlantis. The what's up there, bro? The alpaca square ball.
Alpaca square bowl. I think we're smoking some vintage, right?
And there actually we're smoking Cloud 9.
Oh, Cloud 9.
Shout outs to Cloud 9. We sat Vince
To,
went and sat down with them today.
Anna and Celine at Cloud 9 with Red Peach and My Less.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
My first time
Good
really
stuff.
smoking.
Cloud 9.
I've smoked it before, but
It's actually a good flavor now.
is it?
Before we didn't try some good flavors. These are pretty good flavors. But we do have, this also is a replica, kind of sort of like a KM, but it's a Star Buzz heavy duty hookah as well that we got. And it's great, man.
You know, when picking this up, it doesn't feel like a regular KM hookah. It's pretty heavy, pretty sturdy.
Oh no, I'm talking about this one.
This one too.
Yeah, that one's really heavy.
This one's really
That
heavy.
was the American made.
It kind of reminded me of picking up a Prometheus.
Yeah, it's heavy, man.
It's pretty heavy.
You guys are definitely speaking the language.
So-
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a whole new language.
We can
Hey,
go
that's
into a
cool,
lot of
bro.
talk.
That's cool, man. I love it.
Tonight is about Pablo.
No. Keep talking and learning. That's how you learn. That's how you learn. I'm all about it. That's cool, man. I love the fact that you guys have broken this industry in like big time, catering at all the events, every event. You guys are like in how many clubs now?
We do 30 to 40 events a week.
Is that right, Danny?
25 to 30 now.
25 to 30.
Oh, 25.
insane. That's still crazy. I bet that's more than anybody else is out there.
At one point, it was about 40, but we scaled down a little bit.
What's the reason you guys decided to scale down? Or
Man.
why did you guys turn it down a bit?
Cut the black clubs out.
No.
So Danny's over there. He's in
Cut
the
the
background.
Yeah,
Cut
cut
the
the
fat.
clubs that didn't really do.
Cut the fat.
Didn't really make sales. So just the clubs actually now are doing really well.
Very nice.
So-
Very
It's
consistent.
just like in any business. It's just if you have a product, you have a service that's not working out. If you're in a business, I'm sure you know this. If it's not working out for you, you're doing it for a while or whatever the
Bad
situation.
employees, you cut them.
Cut them, right?
Yeah. Did you guys actually bring down your staff too, or you guys keep
No.
the same amount?
We actually need the same amount of staff.
Really? To
Yeah.
service more, huh?
To service less, it's weird.
Oh, well, I
Well,
mean,
you
we,
put
we,
more-
busier and more
Would you
days.
put more
I
people
guess.
in the clubs, or?
oh, sorry. 1 second.
Oh, that's me. Give me a sec here.
Daddy duties.
Life
daddy
happens.
duties.
Daddy
The kids.
duties.
So,
Watch out.
Pablo, like, I know you've been doing your entrepreneurship for a long ass time. So
For a while.
when did you start? How long ago?
2000. When did I meet you guys? It's like 2007, 2006.
Was it
That sounds right.
2006?
Was when I started like with
That's when you
network
met me.
marketing. Yeah, that you were the first person I actually. You came down to introduce me or to walk me up the stairs at the KY Center because Alex Perez, shout out to that guy because he introduced me to network marketing. He told me, hey, Mr. Din is going to be the guy who's going to take you upstairs and, make sure you dress well. And there I go. And I see this little short Asian guy come in and, yeah, I'm Mr. Din. I'm like, okay. So, yeah, man, you were the first person that I got a chance to meet at the event. That was fun.
Did you think I was like maybe 6 feet tall with like nice
Honestly, I didn't know what to expect. He just said Mr. Din, and I was like, Mr. Damn, bro. Mr. Why are you called Mr.? Like, he 50 years old or what, And then I walk in, and I swear there were so many happy people there. I was like, what do these fucking people want from me? They want to sell me something. I swear,
I'm trying to brainwash you, bro.
Hey, man, as soon as I walked in there, I was like, oh, it's one of those meetings. Anyways, that was the
You
first
sat
time.
in front, right?
Yeah, no, second row. Because you were like, oh, we got a seat for you in the front. I was like, I don't do front row, bro, but I'll do the second row. I remember that.
Where was this?
At the KY Center and the first event that I went to. With,
when it was too cool for school.
When I thought I was too cool for school.
I remember that day. I remember the day I met you.
I was like, man, these guys want to sign. And then I was reading, I remember I was like, identity theft stuff, huh? I was like, what is this stuff?
But you were in the credit, but you were doing collections or something, right?
I was in the credit and collection world for a long time, man. So that's where I met Alex, and that's where I was introduced to this. I had been to like other events, but those things were just not really, getting my attention. Like insurance was not something that I wanted to do, and I had been to several Prime America events, World Financial Group events, but those things just didn't catch my attention.
Okay.
But for whatever reason, I think it was Josh Denny that just like blew me away. Yeah, shout out to that guy. That guy did a killer presentation. I was just like, holy shit, all my homeboys need this. 24. As soon as he said you have 24-hour access to an attorney, I was like, I already know who I'm going to call. So yeah, man. So since 2006, I started the whole entrepreneur thing.
How long did you do network marketing for?
I did 4.5 years with that company, and then I did 1.5 maybe with the skincare company.
So 6 years, is that right?
Yeah, about 6.5.
6.5 years.
Yeah.
And through that process, I mean, what are like 3 key things that you learned?
The one thing that I think I took the most from was like how to network. Because it's always been about who you know. It's not what you know. There's a lot of bright people, but you don't have the right connections, you're not going to get to the next level. You got to have somebody who knows something you don't and can help you in your business. And networking is like the best way to do it. So that was the biggest thing that I learned.
Okay.
The second thing was people skills. Like you got to sharpen that axe. You gotta know how to talk to people. Because if you don't know how to talk to people, nobody's buying.
Yeah.
And number 3 was how to close.
Okay.
Always be closing. I always like to close people. I used to sell tons of memberships just with a brochure. I used to take them to Starbucks, buy them a coffee, go through a brochure, and walk out with an app. So those are 3 things that
ABC.
Yeah, man. So those are things that I really learned in prepaid legal. That was the name of the company. And then I walked away for a while. Because what I ended up seeing was I learned about chargebacks.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And chargebacks are like a big no-no. Especially when you're selling a service that people, number 1, don't understand. And number 2, don't really want.
Mm-hmm.
You want to sell people something that they want, not something that they need.
Yeah.
People buy what they want, not what they need.
Well, they keep what they want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, that 1.5 years that I took a step back from network marketing, I went back to corporate America. And I remember in corporate America, I was making great money, dude. I was making like $7,000 a month with commissions and salary.
Doing
But it
collections?
was collections again. And I was like, I'm doing the fucking same shit. I'm like right back where I started. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that shit just pissed me off. And I loved the money, but I hated the fact that I had to still be on the phone for 8 hours a day. And then they were always looking for a way to ding my bonuses.
Of course.
And I hated that shit. I hated that thing. So I remember my friend Dale, he decided to go to Nearing.
Mm-hmm.
And I spoke to him and I told him, hey man, what's up? What's this big move everybody's making? And he's like, I don't want to talk to you because, you know, you're on Twan's team or whatever. And I was like, I don't give a shit, bro. Like, tell me what's going on. And he was like, well, talk to Twan first. So I remember I hung up the phone. I called Twan and I said, where are you at, bro? He's like, I'm going to be making dials at 2:30 at Starbucks on Main and Chapman.
Okay.
And I was like, well, dude, I'm going to go see you when I get out of work. That same day, I went 2:30. I sat down with him and I asked him, bro, are we going to make the move or not? And he was like, no, man, I'm going to give this thing another 3 years. And in 3 years, if it doesn't happen, then we'll jump. And I was like, let's just do it right now. Let's go. And he said no. And because of loyalty, I found out loyalty doesn't always pay off. Because of loyalty, I chose not to make the jump. And I regret that. Because I was loyal to him at the time, but when I should have been looking out for was myself at that time. And because of that, I ended up missing out on an opportunity of him being my downline. Mm-hmm. And I would have been frontline to Dell. And I would have been, the game would have changed. It would have been a different story.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was a huge eye-opening experience. And then he called, and then Twan, I remember when Twan called me. When he called me, I already knew what was happening. And I went, and I remember I was the first person who signed up. And at the time, the reason I signed up was because I was like, I need to get back into some kind of a business, you know? And I wasn't excited about the product. I told Twan, you know what, let's do it. Like, I'll be your first person. And when I sat down with him, I signed up, and then I felt bad calling all of you guys or all of my team too.
Yeah.
I didn't want to make that move because I felt like the people who were still loyal to the other companies were going to think negative of me, you know, or bad of me and stuff. But I regret, like, at that time, loyalty got in the way of business. And, it should have never been personal. It should have just been business. And at that time, I could have had Twan underneath me. Like, he would have been, and he even told me, like, you should have jumped first. I would have signed up directly under you. Yeah. And I was like, fuck. So anyways.
Now he makes $250,000.
Now he's making $250,000 a year. And I'm like, man, I could have banked off of that.
Well, it's kind of like you're just applying the principles that were kind of not brainwashed in us, but instilled in us. You know what I mean? Like loyalty and your team. And it's like you take that like, well, this is my family. This dude helped me do this. This dude helped me do this. Versus, I totally see what you're saying about the loyalty versus looking at yourself or looking at the business decision for yourself and your family.
But that's the thing. At any time that you're making a business decision, it should always be about you and your family. Never about loyalty to anybody. Because at the end of the day, nobody will be there when you're going through your struggles.
Exactly.
The way you think they're going to be.
Right.
You know, I went through some challenges in that business at that time. And some of my support wasn't there the way I thought. So, you know, again, it was a decision that I made based on loyalty as opposed to the opportunity. Big mistake. And since then, I've kind of learned to take a step back and analyze the situation and see how it benefits me. Because my time is also valuable. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I worked through that for a year and a half. My organization started to kind of dwindle down. And when my organization started to dwindle down, I stepped back and I was like, do I really still want to be chasing people around? You know? Like, do I still want to go to the meetings? Do I still want to go to these conferences? I was not passionate about it. I've always been passionate about having a business, but network marketing is not a business. If you run it like a business, you know, there's a couple of people in network marketing that know how to build a business within the business. But network marketing is really just
a platform?
Not even a platform. Network marketing is a specialty. Because there's doctors, right? There's all kinds of doctors. Some specialize in certain arenas, but they need a platform like Kaiser so that they can work for that company and be a specialist within that company. And then there's the ones that tried to be the self-employed, but they just tack on more work. Network marketing is just a specialty because you still have to chase people all day long, motivate people all day long. You have to show up to all the events all day long. It's a specialty. Entrepreneurship is a little different. Entrepreneurship, you're looking for multiple avenues to build, different platforms.
Yeah.
And you have to know how to utilize and capture those. And for me, network marketing was just an industry, not so much an industry where you can become a business owner. It's not a true sense business owner. It's just a specialty industry. That's really all it is. Because you still got to work your ass off, man.
Yeah.
You know, you're working more than 40 hours a week.
I think I think that's almost every opportunity that you want to be successful at. Because that's a perfect point. Because, fuck, you're like, sometimes I wonder, man, I work my ass off at a job, and I'm still stuck there. I don't get a raise. I don't get a promotion. I don't get credit. Someone always takes the credit. And you're still doing the same shit. That's a job. Now, with entrepreneurship, you control that. You work your ass off. You control your income. You control your time and what you invest in. And you give yourself a raise. And I personally feel that that's the best thing about entrepreneurship.
You know, entrepreneurship is not for everybody. You know,
No, it's not.
I know everybody says it's so cliche, right? And the first thing that jumps out at people is, well, I need someone to make my coffee. I need somebody to flip those burgers.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But you know what? That's also ego. You can't think like that because you don't know if those people who are flipping burgers, that's their shop, that's their restaurant, and that's their passion.
Yeah.
You don't know if that person who's making those coffees that's their passion. That's what they love and they enjoy, and that's what they feel they were meant to do. So it's kind of egotistical to say, you know, I need people for that. It's just that they specialize in that. Just like we need network marketers because they do bring great products to the marketplace in a different format. But we need people in all different arenas. I don't think you need to ever, you know, down talk people just because they're passionate about doing something that you and I are not.
Okay.
Entrepreneurship is different for everybody.
Yeah.
You can be an entrepreneur who's passionate about hookah, right? But somebody who's not in your industry that doesn't understand it would look at it probably like a hobby, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't understand it. So you don't understand the person and their story and what they're going through who's flipping the burgers or who's doing. So you got to be careful with doing that kind of stuff. You know, entrepreneurship is something that not everybody was born to do because it takes a special kind of person to want to be an entrepreneur. I mean, for me, here's where the crazy started for me. The crazy started for me when I left that company. I became an investor in a steel company. It was out in Corona. I put in a little bit of money. I was supposed to get 1% of all sales. I was supposed to be appointed the director of sales, and I was supposed to get, I think it was like 2 or 3% of the company, right? I put in an investment. I lost all my money, and I lost the position. The company ended up closing down.
Damn.
Wow.
Okay? I left, and at that time, I had left the job that I was at before I joined the skincare company because I jumped into the skincare company full time.
Mm-hmm.
But when the income started to drop, I was in a position where I'm like, fuck, what am I going to do? So I saw an opportunity. I had some capital. I invested. I got to work. But the people that I got in business with didn't have the greatest reputation in the world. So guess what? That company got bought out by some people who knew nothing about the industry, and they let me go before I had anything in writing. So I lost everything, including my savings, which was like 12 grand.
Uh-huh.
And I'm thinking to myself, how am I? And I'm getting ready to get married.
I remember.
I was struggling right before I was going to get married. So I paid for my wedding. I'm being very transparent right now. I paid for a lot of my wedding on credit cards because I didn't have any income anymore. All my savings was gone, right? I didn't have a job. I didn't have an income. I think my skincare check was like $400 a month. I wasn't receiving unemployment. right? So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna focus on my wedding, get married, and then I'll figure it out afterwards. In that process, I thought the answer to everything was to go back to a job. But the more that I thought about going back to a job while applying, I started to realize that if I was going to be a true entrepreneur, I need to roll the dice on myself.
Yes.
Because if I'm an entrepreneur, I'll get out of the situation. If I'm a wantrepreneur, I'm gonna run back to a job. Or his business.
Yep.
Nobody will. If they're passionate, they're all in. And in order for you to be a person who's all in, you gotta be able to sell yourself out. What's the worst that can happen? You get backed up on a month or two worth of rent and a couple of bills, and then you go back to a job. Mm-hmm. But other than that, they can't do anything to you. Nobody's gonna hurt you if you didn't. But you gotta try. You gotta roll the dice on yourself. So for me, I was just like, I need to gamble on myself. Mm-hmm. What do I need to do? Right? So at the time that I was working at the steel company, that's where I met Jose, which is one of my partners from Metro Fund Financial. Mm-hmm. And I remember in one of the meetings we were having, I was like, bro, what did you say you do? He's like, I do credit repair. And I was like, bro, I know that industry. What the hell? And I even told him, what are you doing here, bro? And I remember messing around. I was like, let's go open up our own shop. You know? This was before I knew anything, before I saw anything coming. Anyways, I went on my honeymoon, I came back, and I was telling my wife, I don't know what I'm going to do. I got to do something. What do I have skills in? What do I have experience in? Credit. And I was like, and then me and Jose would still keep in touch because he would tell me, man, the company's about to shut down. I wish they would have kept you. We would have really made something happen. And I was like, bro, we'll figure something out. He's like, no, bro, I don't think you understand. I'm quitting here, and I'm just going to try and do credit repair full time. I was like, well, why don't I go see you and let's see how we can work something out. Mm-hmm. So I remember the day I showed up to his office, I told him, all right, bro, I was like, you know what? I know what you can do with credit repair. I was like, do you have examples of people's credit that you've helped? Yes. Credit score increases? Yes. I said, I can build the event. I was like, well, let's put seminars together and I'll invite people. You do the presentation and I get a cut of every single event, every person that closes. Mm-hmm. Like, I was just trying to get the wheels turning.
Trying to figure something out that makes money.
Yeah, because, dude, I'm at home. I'm not making no money, right? And I can't sit there and cry about the situation.
Twiddle your thumbs.
Fuck that, And I'm just recently married. What the fuck am I going to do? My poor wife, I got to support her somehow, right? So I'm thinking to myself, he's like, yeah. He's like, let's do it. Well, at the time, I was talking to David Tran, shout out to him, because that guy does so much for our company.
I love David Tran.
Yeah,
David Tran, if you're listening, I love you, bro.
Tran?
He is awesome, dude.
I haven't talked to him in a long time, but I love him.
He's awesome, bro. Anyways, I was talking to him, and at the time, he was thinking about starting a small business lending company. Okay? So he wanted to do small business loans with collateral, so they were basically going to be collateral, loans. Yeah. And I met with him and I told him about what I was going to do with Jose. And then I was like, maybe this might work out. All three of us work together. So I set up the meeting. So here's me. I'm not making no money. I'm trying to figure out, how do I do something? Like, how do I put something together? Because I need to do something. And he's like, okay, set up the appointment. We sit down, we talk. And I remember as we're talking, everybody walked out happy, right? I remember that, and I remember thinking in my head, I'm about to fucking start a corporation right now. Like, this is legit right here, right? Because I'm like, I didn't have anything, and I'm about to have something. Like, I'm walking out of this with a deal. So anyways, David walks away. Everybody walks out happy. And then 2 days later, David says he's in. And I was like, cool. So he immediately started doing the paperwork. And we were supposed to launch this was in August when we met. We were supposed to launch that January, which was, I think, 2014.
Okay.
That's when we were supposed to launch. And then, because the company's been around going on 3 years. This will be 2 years. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, okay, now I got to do something to come up with money from now till January, because at that point in time I can start taking a paycheck. Even if it's a couple grand, I can take something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, but what am I going to do from here to now? Because I'm really starting to fall behind on everything. And Jose calls me up and he's like, hey man, he's like, since the company is going to launch in 14, he's like, what if we start now, you and I build it, we'll split everything 50-50, and that way we'll already have a book of clientele, so when the year comes around, we have momentum.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'll go see you next week. And then that's because my wife and I had a trip. We came back that Saturday. Sunday, I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? How am I going to market this? I went in on Monday, sat down with this dude, and I was like, watch what I'm going to do. And I used Facebook, social media platform. And I remember I made my first post, right? I grabbed one of the letters that he had, and I took a picture of the deletions. Mm-hmm. And I was like, we just helped this client remove these items from their credit.
Awesome.
I remember that post.
Boom! All of a sudden, my inbox flooded with inquiries. And I remember that first month, between him and I, well, actually it was mostly me, because I was the guy who was out there getting the sales, right?
Yeah.
I generated $17,000 in sales.
Nice.
Wow.
And we went 50-50.
Nice.
Nice.
That's not nice, because he generated all the fucking sales.
Huh?
No, but
No, but still,
Yeah. I'm
something.
saying, yeah.
His back was against the
Something
wall.
on
He had to do something.
But think about it.
Yes.
You make $17,000 in sales, right?
Yeah.
And 50% of that is yours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And boom, all of a sudden I got money in my pocket.
Yeah.
So what happened the next month? We went from 17 to 19, and that was in the month of October, and then I stressed out. Because I was like, shit, the holidays are coming up, bro. I was like, I'm gonna have to, make sure the money lasts.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking 50%, but I'm still thinking, man, I mean, that's only gonna take me so far before January, and then the 2 weeks after January 1st, I'm gonna get my check or whatever. We have our biggest month in November, 21 grand, and then in December we had another 15 grand. So I ended up going from having lost everything to creating a corporation, but we didn't launch it for a few months officially, but I was still in the trenches working it because I had no choice, because I did not want to go back to a job, and I had to take a gamble on myself. I've learned I think it's great to build a part-time network marketing business. In certain businesses you can work, part-time. But at some point, if you really feel like you're an entrepreneur, at some point you're going to roll the dice and go 100. Because if your business is generating some money, imagine if you really took the time to dedicate, plan, market, and do it right, what the possibilities could be.
Yeah.
If you're able to do it in a part-time amount of time, what if you put in 50, 60 hours into your dream as opposed to still doing the 40 hours over there and only putting in 10 or 15 for yours?
Yes.
Why not switch the roles, right?
Yep.
And that's what I ended up doing. Doesn't mean everything was gravy. At the time, it got me out of my situation.
Were you scared?
Hell yeah. But I had already been scared for some time.
Yeah.
Because I was already not getting any income since I lost my savings, since I lost my income, since I had nothing, and I'm going into getting married. I had to put on a happy face and say, hey, I'm getting married to the woman I love, but deep down, I'm hurting.
Yeah.
But, again, I gambled on myself because I knew going back to a job was not the answer.
What did you say to people? I'm sure there were people that said, hey, why don't you just go back to your job? Or did you hide that you were...
No. I didn't hide it. I was actually very open with people and told them, dude, this is the shit that I'm in. Like, I remember too, I was talking to Twan. This was funny because at the time I still had the Lexus that they have with the car, with the company. And he called me. He's like, I know how you can get out of your situation.
Oh, yeah. 3 people.
Right? Just go get 5 new people. You can solve any issue with 5 new people, right? And, the funny thing I said is, You know what's crazy, bro? Is I have a Lexus parked in the parking garage right now that I can barely afford to pay right now because the only check I have coming in is from Miriam, right? And I don't have no money for gas. Like, I literally can't leave my house. And that's how it really was.
Wow.
So I really was just stuck at home like a hermit. Like, there was times I would get calls from some of you guys hanging out. And no, I didn't want to show face because I was like, I don't have no money. I can't throw nothing down.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really in a hole. And, you know, you have to get to a point, you know, of disgust. And that for me was that point where I was like, I have to do something. When I came back from the honeymoon, I was like, how am I going to do this? I didn't know, but I just started, the wheels just started turning and I was moving. And that's all I can tell anybody out there who wants to do it. Just keep the wheels turning, keep moving, and things start to align themselves. So we start the corporation, and then all of a sudden everything feels like it's all, I feel like, all right, it's going to be cruise control from here on. Of course, there was other challenges, but
Of course.
that's another story.
And here's the thing, like, my biggest thing is, man, I'm fucking disgusted. I'm at a point of disgust, but the point of disgust doesn't hurt bad enough. You know what I'm talking about? The point of disgust, it doesn't hurt bad enough. So, I heard that really loud in my ear. Just to let you know, with the headphones on, I can hear everything. Yeah. That's why when you guys are
That's why I don't wear them.
That's why when you guys are playing with the mic, I'm like, oh, I can hear the scratching. Anyways, but the time that the feeling of disgust, like, what does it feel like? Like, I know it's a feeling of disgust, but what does it feel like? What is it?
You're nauseous all the time, bro. You're nauseous because you're nervous. You feel like the walls are caving in on you, and you really do feel nauseous. You want to throw up. You feel sick. You hold your tummy. You lay on your couch, and you're just like, fuck, what am I gonna do? And that happens. That's reality. That's when you know you're like in a position where, fuck, I better get up and just start swinging at something, and I'm gonna land and connect with something. But you feel nauseous all the time, bro. You don't even want to be around people because you're just like so depressed. You don't know what to say or what to do. It's horrible.
And your wife, Genesis,
very supportive. She was working at the time, so she was bringing in the money. You know, we lived off chicken and rice for like a long time. But she did her part because we still had to pay our rent, right? She did it. She did everything on her part the way she was supposed to. So she stood by my side.
Wow.
Never gave up.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying? But if you ever feel nauseous at your job, it's time to go. It's time to gamble on yourself. Because part-time gamblers will never get anywhere. You gotta be full-time at something. You know, I always admire everybody and anybody who wants to work a full-time job, but you know, if you're nauseous of going, like, when I say nauseous, it's like when you're sick and tired of waking up early in the morning and saying, fuck, another day at the fucking office. That means you're disgusted. Do something about it at that time. That's the best energy to feed off of, because that's the energy that's really going to drive you into some kind of action.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's not like you don't like your coworkers. Like, you know, you like them, but you hate seeing them.
Yeah.
I fucking have that feeling every single fucking morning in the last few weeks. Actually, the last, like, beginning of this year, I wake up, I go into work, and I look at everybody. I was like, heck, you guys are fucking cool as fuck. I love everyone here. Everyone's cool. But I fucking hate seeing your face. I like you as a person, but I hate seeing your face. I hate looking at the computer screen. I hate walking in. I hate people just talking to me, and I fucking just hate everybody. It doesn't mean I don't like them. I just don't want to see them anymore. And it's not a bad thing. It's just your feeling.
You're nauseous. You're sick.
Yeah, you're sick.
Like, I gotta see these people again. I gotta deal with this fucking drama again. It's the same shit here, and it doesn't change.
Nothing changes.
Nothing changes because you're in a structure that's never gonna change because it's structured to be that way all the time.
Yeah, and no matter what they do, no matter how many leadership classes they take, because no matter anything that they do, it's always the same shit.
All the time.
All the same shit. And I think, when I told the guys here that, hey, look, I got a plan. We started this website called Hookah MD, and we're trying to figure things out about job shipping and everything that we were trying to figure out. I said, look, I told the guys, like, just give me 90 days. I'll make this shit work, right?
Yeah.
I say, fuck, give me 90 days. I'm going to make this shit work.
I swear, it's just tobacco in here. I swear.
I love it, bro. There's nothing like being raw, right? On the podcast. Who cares?
Maybe you should push it in a little bit more, bro.
You know what? I just hate this chair, and I'm trying to be close to the mic, but it's okay. I'll stand because it's cool. I'm a G.
And so when I came to that moment of disgust, I told him, hey, look, guys, I'm going to quit my job. And, my last day is the 29th of this month. And I'm like, right now, my emotions, my thought process, my mentality, the things I'm doing, how much time I'm taking, I'm not spending with my wife. I don't like it, but I know the end result. I have to make it happen no matter what. Like, I came to a point when I think you gave me the phone call. Was that Thursday or Friday? Was it?
I remember we talked the other day.
You gave me that call, and I was like, fuck yeah, dude. This shit's gonna happen no matter what. I'm not gonna fail. I'm not gonna go home and tell my wife, look, I didn't do it in 90 days. I didn't do it in 120 days. I'm gonna do it no matter what.
Here's the thing. And that's cool that you wanna set a 90-day run.
Mm-hmm.
Just run.
Yeah.
There is no 90 days. You run until, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're just gonna run for 90 days and then run back, then stay at your job.
Okay.
Just run. Because the more you're focused on running towards the finish line, the sooner you're gonna get there. Instead of 90 days, you're gonna say, well, this is where I got. And now you take your eyes off the prize, and now you're like, okay, so it's been 90 days. All right, guys. So what's my next step?
Mm-hmm.
Just run.
Okay.
If everyone's all in, then there's no 90-day limit. It's just until you crack something. Something's got to crack, bro, and you will make it crack. Because
it's just like swinging the bat. You're gonna eventually hit a home run.
You're eventually gonna get a hit, and if that single could lead, it could be a double, it could be a triple, it could be a home run.
Yeah.
But you just gotta keep running, bro. Don't do that. Take the network marketing bullshit out. Mm-hmm. You're not a network marketer anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Entrepreneurs cannot think like network marketers all the time. And in this situation, you can't think 90 days.
Okay.
You're thinking life, bro. You're about to bring a child into this world.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just give yourself 90 days. You got to give yourself the rest of your life. If you're really going to go all out, go all out.
Mm-hmm.
But don't give yourself, I'm going to give myself a 90-day time frame. That's not fair to you.
Yeah.
Or to them.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, what if shit cracks on the 95th day?
That's true.
What if shit cracks on the 120th day? But on day 90, you're like, you know what, guys? Didn't work out. I'm going back to a job. You can't think like that.
True.
You gotta just
fucking nugget.
Go for it.
Fucking nugget right there.
There is no fucking 90 days. Fuck that lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Lifestyles of 90 days, that's cool. Once you're in and you're making money, then you can set 90-day goals within.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, if you're all in, bro, there is no 90-day run.
That's right.
It's just all in.
Okay.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn.
Schooling us.
Yeah.
I love it, bro. I've never seen you on this level.
No.
I like this level.
Well, because for
I'm gonna call you every day so I can just get some Pablo motivation.
Next level Pablo.
I appreciate all that, but I learned from other people. Like, it's cost me a lot of money to learn these things.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say it's cost me a lot of money, I've lost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on several different types of investments. I've wiped out my savings account 5 different times with $10K plus on different things where I thought this was it. This was the one that was going to pop. You know what? If I'm willing to spend $50,000 on a fucking bachelor's degree, why am I not going to spend $50,000 in fucking Hard Knocks business and earn way more than I would in fucking college?
That's fucking true.
I have $50,000 in school loans. Fuck them. I pay them $50 a month. They stay happy. I'm okay with that. But I've also spent $50,000 on investments, business opportunities, lectures, seminars, you name it. But you know what? The education that I've gotten on this one is far better than the one I got at the college.
You know what's
Self-education.
You know what's fucking
Oh, yeah.
crazy? I was at a mansion party. I was at this party. I was doing hookah catering. We were doing hookah catering at a party, and it was a Jewish party, right? And it was the fucking craziest shit over. I'm sitting there looking at these guys, and they weren't talking about $100,000 deals. They weren't even talking about $500,000. They were talking $1 million deals. And one of the guys there was like, he's a fuck USC. They don't give you shit. This one of the dads, his friend's dad, was saying, you know what, I'm gonna give you $100,000 to go to business school at USC. He said, fuck that. I told his friend, to tell his dad, give him $100,000 to open a business. He'll learn more in the $100,000 going to business than $100,000 a year going to USC. Number one. And there's another guy, that's fucking right, because his friend just created an app, never graduated from college probably, just sold an app for $500,000. And just like it's like nothing. They were talking nothing. They were talking about $1 million transactions at that party, like nothing.
At the end of the day, like, it drives me bananas. That's why one thing that I'm happy I'm no longer in the world of direct sales. I love direct sales. I think it's a great foundation for anybody to see if you have it in you to be an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
If you can stick with a company for 4.5 years, 5 years, and not make any money, you'd be a great business owner. Because most business owners really don't make no money for the first 4 or 5 years. Really. I mean, you're barely paying ends meet. That's just the truth.
Yep.
But I got my train of thought gone, bro. So sorry. But at the end of the day, I believe it drives me nuts because I know where I was going. In network marketing, I used to hate sitting down with people and them telling me that the $150 opportunity that I was presenting them, that it was too much. I hated sitting down with people with the skincare company that said $500 to $1,000 was too much.
How about when it was $49?
Or when it was $49, and it was still too much.
It was still too much.
My auto ship was $36 a month, and it was too much. I can't. You know what? The reason that I'm glad I left that industry is because you deal with so many small-minded people that you can get pulled back in that direction. Because you keep hearing so many people say it's too expensive, and if tell me this ain't true in network marketing, people start saying that they quit the business because it was too expensive and none of their friends can get started.
Yeah.
I hate that shit. If you're not willing to invest $500, $1,000, if you don't have that money laying around to try something, and you're always trying to figure out, like, I gotta make a calculated decision because it's $500 or $1,000.
Yeah.
Like, I did a calculated decision for $50,000 to go to school because they told me I was gonna get a job, and that the bachelor's degree meant something in this country. Why wouldn't I invest $1,000 to learn a new skill? Why wouldn't I invest $500 to start a new business? Or a couple of grand. I spent a couple $1,000 just to go to a seminar not too long ago, where I went to Vegas. It cost me $1,200.
Yeah.
But hey, I don't care. I don't think about. Did I get stuff out of it? Hell yeah, I did. Has it made me a millionaire yet? No. But has it generated me money? Yes.
Perfect.
That's all that matters. I'm not afraid to throw money into something that's gonna pay off. I don't like sitting down with people who have to think about it. You shouldn't be an entrepreneur because entrepreneurs don't think; they act.
Dude.
And as they do, and as they act, they figure out how to pay for shit. That's the way it is.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't sit there and think about every dollar that's gonna go out. If you feel that at that time, if your gut tells you, invest in this because it's gonna be beneficial, do it. Because you're probably you may just learn that one nugget that will help you excel to the next level. But do it. You know, people always attach the currency saying it's $500 or $1,000. It's gonna hurt my pocket if I don't learn nothing or if I don't come out to be a millionaire. Dude, just look at my example. I put $50,000 on the line for a $50,000 a year job that I was promised. You know what I'm saying? $1,000 of self-help or $500 of a course that can teach you a new skill is worth a shot. It's gonna make you more money than my degree.
Mm-hmm.
My shit's just sitting there. Like, literally. I don't even want to deal with computers. I got a degree in bachelor's. Fuck computers. That's not my thing. I don't like it, but I like talking to people. I like flipping and selling shit. I like doing stuff like that. I like opening businesses. I love the art of closing. That's what I enjoy doing. That's what I'm passionate about. And guess what? All those $10 and $20 events that I went to every single week, I invested in those skills. You guys have those same skills.
Mm-hmm.
You guys all went to the same school that I went to.
BPO University.
Hell yeah.
Or it's Network Marketing University.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
PPL, Nerium, I don't care. Any company.
University. Yeah.
All of those things are, you guys have, look, I'm sitting with 3 people that I've worked with for a long time. Like, I've seen you guys since 2006, 7, 8, 9.
10
We've
years.
all come a long way. In those 10 years, have you ever, with the books you read, the people you associate with, have you ever thought for one bit that if you put 100% like a gamble on yourself, like have you ever thought of the possibilities of what can happen if you actually put, like, I'm betting all on black on this roulette. Like, just throw it all down. Just bet on yourself. Like, has it ever occurred to you to want to try and do that? Like, I felt like I was put in a position where I had to do that, because I knew the job, I didn't want to go back to a job. But you guys all have skills. You guys will run circles around. I'm hanging out with a group of people that are, right now, they're generating $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the sales world. Like, this is what they make monthly.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gone on ride-alongs with some of these people just to see like how they handle their business. You guys would run circles around these people with the personal development, the people skills, and the books you guys have read. So it blows my mind, because here I am. It took me, a while to make 6 figures.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, we used to dream of 6 figures, right?
Yeah.
We used to say the $100,000 ring, right?
Woohoo!
That's going to change everything. Guess what? $100,000 ain't shit in Orange County, because it flies, boy. I used to think 100K was like the top of the line. But now it's like, I know I'm going to make that this year. That's no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm like, how am I going to make it multiple times over?
Yes.
And I'm hanging out with some of these dudes, and I'm thinking to myself, these guys have been working in this industry for like 5 years, 6 years. They were never told that they couldn't make money in this industry. They were just told, just go and do it, and the money will come. And that's all they did. These guys bet on themselves 100%. And now they're making that kind of sick money. And they work 2 to 3 days a week.
Wow.
That's pretty gangster. So it just goes to show, for a long time, it took me a while to gamble on myself. But the only reason I gambled on myself was because I was put in a corner where I felt like, all right, this is it. I'm not going back to a job. I'll figure it out. I got to start swinging because I'm sick of being nauseous. I'm sick of fucking not knowing how I'm going to make my next Lexus payment. Like, seriously. How am I going to put gas in that fucking car? At that time, that car was only taking like 91 gas,
Yeah.
That shit was like $5 a tank at the time. But it took me so long to bet on myself. Like, when do you feel, like you guys as entrepreneurs, when do you guys feel that you're willing to take 100% risk and 100% chance on yourself? Because you guys have all the same skills that I have. You guys have all been mentored by the same people that I have.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have been around the same people that I have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what's holding you guys back from just fucking doing it? Just do it. Whatever it is that you're passionate about. I know you got multiple businesses.
Yeah.
And they're all bringing in income.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Here's my question to you. You also have a full-time gig, right?
Yeah.
Here's my question. If I don't know how much you make on your businesses, and I don't really care. But the fact that they're generating you income, how much more can you make if instead of you being at the other job for 8 hours, you put 8 hours more every day into what you currently have? How much more better would your life be?
A lot better. A lot better.
Think about it.
A lot better, yeah.
If you have a side business that's generating you $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month, part-time gig, what if you put 100% of your effort into your part-time gig?
Yeah.
You know, like, duh. Think about that. It's the best feeling in the world to be able to wake up on a Tuesday morning, go to the gym, and then tell your wife, let's take the dogs to the dog park or the dog beach, and let's go hang out. One of the things that I used to do when I had a job, once a month, and I'll challenge you guys to all do this. If you're still working at a job, I challenge you guys to do this. Take a Tuesday or a Wednesday off with the family. And go and spend it as if it was a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Just once a month. Like, go do something you would normally not do that you usually do on the weekends. Do it on the weekday, like on a Tuesday or Wednesday, when you have the whole city to yourself, because you're not dealing with traffic. Everywhere's up. You go to Chuck E. Cheese, it's empty. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's there at Tuesday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, right?
I think Cream had that yesterday.
Right?
Yeah.
That right there, if you like that feeling, that's why you should work harder to make sure that you're able to have that feeling every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I love that feeling.
That's a fucking great feeling.
I'm quitting my job tomorrow.
Dang it.
It's so tough,
You know?
man. No, I as you're talking,
I think it's just fear. Like,
I
think it's just fear.
It's tough, man, because I feel like you're talking directly to me, even though you're not looking directly at me at some points, you know. But everything you're saying, and we've had this talk before too, you know. We've all had the Pablo talk, I think, you know. And for me, man, what holds me back is I don't want to say what holds me back is my family, because that should be my reason to jump in full time. But at the end of the day, I'm the breadwinner, and I feel like, I mean, my wife has 3 full-time jobs with my girls. So it's like, and my JOB, which, I have that disgusting feeling, I have that nauseous feeling. Took a day off yesterday for my birthday, and it was awesome. Wake up, go to breakfast with my kid, pick up my girls from school.
Empty restaurants, right?
It was fucking awesome, right?
I love it.
And then I came home, took a nap, just enjoyed my day. Hung out, went to dinner, went to the hookah bar, shout out to Mirage Hookah Bar.
Hey, Omar.
And it was awesome, man, spending time with my friends and everything. And I do. Like, I love that feeling of waking up and just hanging out with the family, especially my girls. And that's what holds me back is like, fuck, okay, if I leave my 70, 80, whatever I'm making at work, if I leave that, then what? I mean, I know, like, all right, I'll figure it out and make it work, but it's that fear of, like, providing.
Okay. Fear is like, okay, so the biggest thing I can say for, because your situation is not that much different other than your 3 babies are already here, right? They're alive and breathing and here in the world, and they're in a lot of activities. If you were to write down a magic number, like the number of like what does it cost for the basic necessities and food, mortgage, you know, or my bills, like what's the bottom line number, like to the point where you feel that you're like kind of choking at, right? What's that number? And be okay with living at that number for about a year. If you really want to pursue what you're doing, like what you're passionate about. If your magic number is like $5,000, right? 4 or 5 grand. You can go, dude, you have enough skills to go make 4 or 5 grand. You really do. Like, if you put 100% of your effort into just you can figure out how to come up with 4 or 5 grand every month to pay the minimum expenses. Will you have the nice things for about a year? Probably not. But that's the sacrifice. Right. But at least you're able to work and make those 4 to 5 grand on your terms. Yeah. Temporarily. Because eventually, it's kind of like, think about this, bro. I remember I talked to Omero, and we sat down and we chopped it up, and I said, what if you had 24 hours in a day to think about how to come up with money every day, as opposed to being focused at a job for 8 to 10 hours or 12 hours, stressed out, working for a paycheck. So what happens when you get home to work your part-time business is you're drained. Your mind's not at 100%.
Mm-hmm.
You're not as efficient as you would be in the morning when you were at that job. You're not in a position where you really want to think too much, right? What if you had 12 hours a day that you put into this job, or 8 or 10 hours, and you put it, for example, into this business to strategize, plan, market? Because during the 8 to 5 hours where you're working, you could be talking to a lot more owners, business owners in your industry, because they're usually at their shops between those times. Make sense?
Yeah.
So you can be way more creative in ways to generate money and build your business that way versus being stuck. Like, just take stress out of the mind and in the body, and just allow your mind to be creative. Let it flow with ideas. Trial and error is cool when you have 8 to 10 hours of trial and error all day on yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But most of the time you come out, you're stressed, you're tired. You don't put 100. I can't say
Right. Yeah.
that you
No,
put
I feel
100%,
you.
right?
Yeah, I understand.
So if $4,000 is the number, bro, trust me, you can come up with $4,000 buying and selling something.
Yeah.
You guys have mad contacts everywhere in your industry. Tell me you couldn't come up with $4,000, $5,000. You could, if you really wanted to, but you have to want to, you know? Like, eBay dropshipping has been a really cool experience for me because it's taught me that people buy anything. Like, you can list the stupidest shit and there's someone who's gonna buy it.
Yeah.
I just sold a bamboo toilet seat.
Right?
Bamboo toilet seat.
Twice the price.
That's crazy, right? Which means you have access to wholesalers in an arena where there's a growing popularity. There's a lot of people who are very into hookah right now. You guys are pioneers in this area. How can you not tell me that if you had 8 to 10 hours a day to go flip these bad boys, or go create something, or find a way to spin and market it differently, or whatever, you couldn't come up with $4,000 or $5,000 to pay your bills? You could.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the stress of dealing with the boss and all the stuff that comes with that. Because now you're 100% laser focused on your business.
Right.
On you making sure your money. How do you know that if you're put in the position that, okay, I don't have the guaranteed paycheck now, right? Are you going to allow your family to starve?
No, absolutely not.
Then what would you be willing to do to make sure that didn't happen?
Anything. Work.
Doing
That
what?
4-letter word.
Working what? Let's just say a job is not an option.
Yeah.
What would you do?
I'd be out selling hookahs.
Doing something, right?
Yeah.
I'd be out, yeah. Selling whatever. Yeah.
Put 100 posting on Craigslist.
Post on Craigslist, post on eBay, post on Amazon, post on whatever. My point is that if you told yourself that a job is no longer an option, what is the bare minimum that you need to survive? Put yourself in the position where there's no secured income coming in, and watch yourself get to work. It's a different story. It's a different world when you put yourself in a situation like that, because now you have no choice but to come up with the money. Otherwise, you're not going to have a roof over your head.
Right.
Your car's going to get repoed. You know?
Yeah.
Your kids are not going to have the things that they're used to having. You got to figure out a way. You got to put yourself in an uncomfortable position in order to see what you're really made of.
And
Because until you get to that point, you're never really going to understand what you're really made out of. And you and I have the same skills. We learn from the same people. You guys. All of you guys.
it's interesting because I had a conversation with Amaro last month when we were on the way to a Lakers game. And he was driving, and we were just talking. And I don't know what it was or the conversation. He mentioned you had the talk with him.
The talk. What is the talk?
The same talk you had right now, but if you have 24 hours to think about making the type of money every single month instead of going to a job working 8 to 12 hours. I took some notes.
It's the truth.
That I was talking to Romero, and I don't know what hit me at that point, but he was jobless at that time, and he was trying to figure things out too. And the craziest thing is this. You're right. We have all the resources. We have the connections for the hookahs. We have everything that we need become successful. And today, and I was like, fuck, we have a lot of things to do. If we just invest our time, like you stated right now, instead of putting 8 to 12 hours into a job, we put 8 to 12 hours into ourselves, into our business, and really make things happen, it will really happen. But here's my question to you. Okay? Now, if you were given that time, 8 to 12 hours, at the beginning, did you waste it? Meaning, distractions. Like, okay, now I'm full-time at my business. Do you say, I'm going to spend some time, maybe I'm going to eat lunch with my wife, or I'm going to go to, I'm going to cut the day short.
I didn't do that for the first year and a half, bro.
Mm-hmm.
The first year and a half, my wife and I, poor thing, I mean, I was working 7 days a week, getting calls from 8 a.m. to 9, 10 p.m. at night, doing consultations on the phone. When we started the credit purpose, I told her, I said, I have to do this. I'm so backed up in life, period. I need to catch up. So I'm going to have to do this. And at the time it was okay because she had a job,
mm-hmm.
So 8 hours of the day, she was at her job. But I worked my ass off. The funny thing is I paid myself a salary.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't making the money that I was when I first started those initial.
Yeah.
See what I mean? But here's how I know that, it's worth putting in that time. Like 7 days a week is true. Like you have to work crazy hours. If you're gonna be an entrepreneur, there is no such thing as a 40-hour work week, bro. Mm-hmm. 40 hours is cute. It's for people with jobs.
Mm-hmm.
That's what 40 hours is, for people with jobs. Entrepreneurs have to work around the clock. Because early in the morning, between 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the morning, those are the times when you're thinking and strategizing what you're going to do for that day to be as efficient and as effective as possible. And late night is when you're going to be doing research and studying and figuring out how to become better the next morning again. It's like you're not going to slow down. You have to put in that time, money, effort into building a business. Entrepreneurship is not a 40-hour-a-week gig. If you think it is, you might as well not be an entrepreneur. You're straight up an entrepreneur. 40 hours, I'm sorry, man. That shit's cute. But I would rather work 50, 60 hours a week for $5,000 a month and not have to listen to somebody's fucking, some other motherfucker to tell me when I gotta take my lunch. Or I can't take a lunch because we're backed up. I fucking hated that shit. I would rather work 60 hours a week for $5,000 a month and dictate my own time versus putting in 40 hours a week for $8,000 a month but put up with bullshit. That's the worst feeling in the world. It's like you're still a kid. They tell you when you can take your lunch.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, I'm not hungry at 11 in the morning. What do you mean I have to take my lunch at 11? Lunch is supposed to be at 12:30 or at 1. Why are you sending me at 11? Because I need you here at that time. Well, then fuck you. I'm not a kid. Mm-hmm. You can't tell me when I'm hungry, You can't tell me when I can go to the restroom. Like, I gotta go to the restroom now. Or we're about to have a meeting. About what? The same shit we had a meeting about last week? I hate that shit. You just gotta be willing to work all the time. And, here's how I know that I'm willing to bet on myself. Recently, And not a lot of people know this, so you guys are about to hear exclusive.
Oh shit.
So, in the month of November, Metro Fund Financial were very dependent on a lot of lenders in the real estate industry, and sending us clientele. Well, business started to slow down. Because of my salary, we were going upside down every month. So I decided to take a salary cut during the worst possible time. Let me tell you guys why. I would pay myself about $4,000 a month. That's not a lot, right? But it was a stream of income for me. $4,000 is still a good chunk of change. I decided that I was going to pull the plug on my guaranteed check, right? For the sake of my business. It's a profitable business now because I'm not in the equation. But I decided to pull the plug. I was the first one to say, I'll take a pay cut. You have to know that you're willing, that you're taking a $4,000 guaranteed paycheck. You're cutting it. Like you're cutting off a limb or a leg, right? And you're willing to go all in on your e-commerce business. I did it at the worst possible time. Here's why. My wife had already established that she was going to let her job go at the end of February, beginning of March. So I was going to go down to a zero guaranteed income. The entire month of December, I was still able to generate $8,000 in profits on my e-commerce because I forced myself to make that much money because I knew I didn't have my Metro Fund business anymore. January and February, I made $9,000 and $10,000 a month with zero income from Metro Fund Financial. Now I still work Metro Fund Financial, but for $0 for the sake of my company, because I'm willing to bet on myself that I'll still build that business with zero income, right? I'll still build that business with zero income and still bring in a full-time income at home.
Nice.
And my wife quit her job because she wants to go back to school to be a teacher. That's how I know I'm willing to bet on myself. Now here's the funny thing. The e-commerce business just turned itself into a corporation, but I partnered with another buddy of mine. Well, because I partnered and turned it into another corporation, I'm in a position right now where I'm making $0 on the new corporation.
Yes.
Because 100% of the money is going in there. That's how I know I bet on myself. I have 2 corporations right now that make me $0 a month. But I don't stress about it. I don't worry about it. I don't trip about that shit. Because I know that I'm going to make some money. I'm not going to let my mortgage go under. I'm not going to make not make my car payment. I'm not going to allow for any of that shit to happen. My wife's going to go to school as planned, and I will pay for all the expenses that need to be paid. So, I have a third corporation, Ghana Network. As of right now, that pays me, I'm literally taking myself a $0 income. Right now, I have 0 incomes coming in, but I'm working all 3 businesses. Eventually, I'll pay myself again from all of these businesses, and I'll be back right at $12,000, $13,000, $14,000 a month.
Yeah.
But right now, for the sake of the companies and the fact that I understand that this is how business works, and that I'm willing to bet on myself, that even though none of these 3 sources are bringing me an income, I'll still pay all the bills that need to get paid. That's how much I'm willing to roll the dice on me. Nobody else will, but I will. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how you know you're an entrepreneur. When you know everything's gonna be okay. I just put my head down every day and I fucking go to work. I don't pay attention to what the next man is doing because we all have different paths. But the one thing I do know, and I'm confident in, is that I will always bring in enough to pay my expenses and to make sure my wife and I are living comfortably. Because I'm put in that position. And right now, I put myself purposely in those positions. And I'm okay with it. Because I know I'm going to be okay. I'll generate the $5,000 a month to pay all the bills. No problem. How? There's a million ways to do it. Right now, I'm not even drop shipping anymore. That was an extra $2,000 or $3,000. I let that business go. Just because I got busy with other stuff. but I'll bring in the money to pay the bills. I believe in myself. God gave us all the ability and the talents to have whatever we want on this world. And this world is our playground. And we should be able to have access to everything. Right?
Yep.
Because that's what he said. The thing is, do we have the balls or the courage to roll the dice on ourselves and our talents that we were given to make sure that we're able to play in that playground? Some people restrict themselves from that playground. I roll the dice on me because I truly believe that I have the skills and the talent, and I was given certain connections and certain people to know that I'll be able to pay the bills. I believe in myself 100%. I do. I have faith in him because even when I was broke, he always provided. I'm talking about the man upstairs.
Yes.
I had just enough, even though I ate chicken and rice every day. I still had enough to cover all my expenses, even though I didn't have the money to go and hang out and party or do anything else. I still had just enough to cover everything. So if he was providing to me at my lowest point in my life, why wouldn't he provide for me when I'm going full throttle and just working and believing that everything's going to be okay? Think about the possibilities.
Yep.
I believe in myself. I guess the question is, every person out there who believes that they're an entrepreneur at heart, do you really truly believe in yourself and you're willing to roll the dice on yourself? It's a gamble. But you know what? I've seen all the people who've said it. If you're gambling on yourself, the payoff is huge. Will you take a few losses? Possibly. Will you feel defeated a few times? A lot of times. But you know what? Once you get that payoff, you'll be on top of the world. And you're still going to have losses, even when you're on top. Because it's just part of the game. But I'm willing to gamble on myself. I've been job free for 4 years. Never again will I go back to a job. Because I know how to make money now. We all know how to make money. I know you got rentals, right?
Yeah.
That's an income that's coming in.
Just deposit, just invested another six grand on my rental.
You have income coming in.
Yeah.
You now understand how to create money.
Yeah.
So why do you want to spend more time, 40 hours a week, learning how to make money for somebody else? Why wouldn't you take those 40 hours and invest it into making more money? You're making money, profits. Why wouldn't you want to put 40 hours and roll the dice on yourself?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Look, I admire David Vu.
Yeah.
Because that guy understands going the all in. He works very smart. He's a very bright guy, dude. Very bright. But he believes in himself. That's huge, bro. He believes in what he's doing. He's a big believer in the people he's helping with drop shipping, and because of that, his course has took off.
Yeah.
And he saw that he was generating an income through the rentals. He believed in it so much, he gave opportunities to people to partner with him. He generated income, and now he's going to create a course, and people are going to jump on that too.
Yeah.
Because he believes in himself and his product.
Yep.
We're getting 3 more rentals this month.
Why wouldn't you put 40 hours into doing that than being 40 hours at a job?
That's true.
Bro, how much more money could you make?
Yeah.
Think about that shit. But we get so stuck on having some security. And that fucking security is a joke, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because at any point, that shit can be taken away. The industry can crash and you're done. You got no job. Then what the fuck are you going to fall back on? But if you know how to create different avenues, right now I have 5 different avenues that pay me somehow. That's pretty cool. Because if one of them collapses, I still got 4 to fucking depend on.
Yeah.
At a job, that's your security. I'm sorry, but the real estate bubble is going to happen again in the next year and a half. If you're in that industry, I always tell my friends who are realtors and lenders, and if you're listening, I swear to you, if you're not putting yourself in a position to back up that fucking paycheck you're making right now, 10 grand a month, you're going to be hurting when the industry crashes again. Because the bubble's about to happen again. Everybody's saying it. Even the realtors, the main realtors, the realtors that never lose business, those guys know that it's coming. You know what I'm saying? But rental properties will always make you money.
Always.
Because people from all other economies are always taking vacations.
Yep.
Very smart way to make money. You created a way to generate income.
Yeah.
You're hanging out with people who know how to make money. Imagine if you put 40 hours into just learning other avenues on how to make money. Dude, to make money is not a problem. It's just the belief in someone's self.
Yeah.
That you can go out and do it. But I'm not a big fan of security. Me personally, even if I probably had 2 kids and I was in a position, same situation that I was in, and I lost everything, I'd have to figure out a way to make money. Because I wouldn't want to put my kids through that.
Yeah.
But going to a job is not going to be a security for them. It's not. It's not even for myself. Jobs will never be a security. Ever. But your mind, it can free you from that so-called security. That security, that job that you call security, is more like a maximum security prison. Because it's stealing you of your time. You're doing a lot of time and don't even realize it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's robbing you from your dreams, bro. What do you guys want to do with your time? Wouldn't you rather be at the beach, bro?
Yeah, I'd rather be with Dave. He'll flying a drone.
You know what I mean? I mean, think about that. I'm going to be going to Seattle next week for an entire week. We're leaving on Saturday morning. We're going to stop at my grandpa's, visit him for a day. Sunday, we hit the road. We're driving up there. We're taking my 2 dogs for our anniversary week. We're going to go over there. We Airbnb'd
Nice.
a beach house, right? And we're going to go experience Canada and Seattle. And I didn't have to ask nobody for fucking time off.
Yeah.
I didn't have to worry about when I'm going to come back. I asked my wife, when do you want to come back? Because I don't care. If you want to stay out there for 3 weeks, we can. I can afford to. You know what I'm saying? But I like to come and work. I do like to work, just so you guys know. I do like to work. But I like the freedom of being able to do as I please.
Yeah.
I do. I really enjoy it. And I like the freedom to create ways to make money. I like to think about new things. I'm always online finding new ways to make money.
Sorry.
The internet has so many ways. But some people can't even stay up to take a course because you come home, you're tired. And the only reason I say that is because my wife worked a very stressful job. And when she would come home, she was drained mentally. She just checked out. She would bring the stress home. Even though she tried not to, I can see it in her.
Yeah.
She's happy as hell right now. She's as happy as can be right now. No longer having to work a job. That's freaking awesome. That's my inspiration and my motivation. You know what I'm saying? But I know that a job will it takes from you, bro. It sucks the life out of you. It really does. And take it from a guy who used to think corporate America was the way out. Because I was sold on that shit in school.
Brainwashed.
Serious. Straight up. You know? If you really believe in BDF, right? And you're willing to go the full 40, 50, 60, whatever it takes, go for it. Because you believe in your product. If you really believe that this is going to take you to the level that you want to be at, go all in. And in the meanwhile, when you're out there networking, selling, talking to people, doors will open. You know why? Because networking connects you to people that you never thought possible you'd be able to meet. But when you network, they open up doors. Who do you think I should know, being the fact that I'm in this industry? They can connect you to somebody who will buy all your shit.
That's true.
You don't know. But if you're 40 hours at a job, you would never have the time to go network. Therefore, you would have never made that contact or that connection.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I left fucking work early today.
I just think all of you guys are doing awesome with your business, and I think it's crazy how you guys expanded it, because I remember when I saw you guys launch it, I was like, fucking hookah catering. What the fuck is this shit?
That guy's even making money.
But at the end of the day, I mean, you guys are pioneers here in Orange County.
Mhm.
How would you not want to capitalize on that?
It's in the process.
40 hours plus, baby.
It's in the process. There's things that's coming up. If you're listening, if you're watching on YouTube, shit about to pop open in the next, I swear, 14 to 28 days. I'm just, oh man. At the talk last Friday, fuck, I'm on mode right now. I left work early. Like you say, I sat down with a tobacco company called Cloud9 that no one knows that's just open, and I'm just sitting down with everybody, dude. I'm just sitting down with everyone. I'm trying to meet everyone. I'm trying to call everybody. Tangiers, if you're listening, if you're watching, I'm contacting you next. I'm just whatever, dude. Fuck it. I'm just like you were saying. I'm contacting everyone. There's a lot. Just whatever. Have a list that you're gonna do, and just fucking crush each one one at a time.
All in, bro. You just gotta be all in, man. Look, man. The other day on Facebook, a couple of times, actually, a couple of weeks, I did it. I posted like my weekly deposits, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not me. I don't like to talk about money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that kind of person. Like I don't ever try to. I felt weird doing that, but I was taught to do that. Say that's how you're gonna create a mailing list, right?
Yeah.
People are gonna be attracted to it, and they're gonna send you your info. Boy, I got like 20 emails just from that one post, the first post, right? Because people want to know what are you doing.
Yeah.
But inside, I feel like that's not me.
Yeah.
Like I don't like to show off about money. I don't like to talk about money. I don't buy nice shit. I don't give a fuck about no material.
That's
I
good.
like good food and I like trips. But I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I don't care about trying to show anybody what's in my bank account. I really don't care about none of that stuff. That's just never been me.
That's good.
I'm
You're the Kawhi Leonard.
the what?
Kawhi Leonard of the San Antonio Spurs.
Quiet.
Quiet.
Kawhi Leonard. You know who he is?
Oh, what the heck? I don't know what you're saying.
I thought you said a quiet letter.
No.
I thought I was talking Vietnamese real quick.
I know. I don't know what
I
you're
was
saying.
just talking a little fast. No, Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, he.
What's his name?
Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi
Leonard.
Leonard.
He got a $94 million contract. He still lives in a 2-bedroom house.
Oh yeah, I read about that.
Yeah, and he still drives a 90. What is it? 90. It's an old Suburban, like it's like a 2000 or 99 Suburban or something. And he just lives a humble life. Dude. This is a little nice, good $94 million contract.
You don't, yeah, and you know what? He's a humble dude, right? Because he don't need to show it off.
No.
But some people thrive on that, you know?
Yeah.
You do need to build a list. If that's the industry you're in, you do got to build a list. You got to build curiosity. You got to pique curiosity.
Yeah.
But after I did it those 2 times, I felt like, you know what? This ain't me. Like, I don't need to brag. I don't need to show anything because you know what? Deep down, I've been nauseous.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And maybe what I'm posting is going to make someone else more nauseous.
That's a good
You
problem.
know what I'm saying?
I think that's a good problem.
I understand that, but I've been in that situation. But I'm not. That's just not me. Like I don't feel right posting numbers like that, and I don't really care about stuff like that. Can I get a water, bro?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, me too, bro.
Danny?
Yeah, me too.
But you know, at the end of the day, that wasn't me, and that's why I stopped posting it. You know, I was like, this ain't me. I don't care. I'm not trying to get followers. I don't give a shit about none of that. And I like to just be me. You know, I'm very low key dude, man. I don't need. I'm not the big partier like I used to be. I've changed a lot, but the only reason is because I stay busy. I work a lot. You know, my wife understands that I do. But it's nice to be able to wake up when I want and say, hey, let's go to Dog Beach. Today was cool because I'll tell you what my day looked like. I woke up at 4:45 in the morning. I went to the gym. I came home. I made my breakfast. Then I had my coffee and I listened to a podcast. Right? Then I told my wife, hey, I think we should go to the beach. Let's take the dogs to the beach. Let's just go hang out. She was like, okay, cool. So we got in the car. We went to the beach. And I'm like, man, this is the life. There was no traffic on the way to the beach. Right? The beach was almost empty. And when I was at the beach, I was like, man, this is awesome. I love coming to the beach on Tuesdays and Wednesdays because nobody's fucking here. I have the beach to myself.
You know, it's funny because I text you back. You text me. I text you back. I said, "Oh, you work at the beach?" You said, "No, I'm just taking a dog to the beach."
Right? It's the greatest feeling in the world to just have that freedom. So then afterwards, we came home, right? We gave the dogs a bath because they were stinky, right? They smelled like ocean. And then my wife and I had strawberries and walnuts with yogurt as a snack, right? Took the dogs for a little walk so they can dry off.
Mm-hmm.
I showered. I hadn't showered yet up to this point
Okay.
because I don't have to worry about that shit, right? I hadn't showered yet. It was like 1 o'clock. It was like 12:45 p.m. And then at 1 o'clock, I had an appointment to go see an office for a call center that we were going to be opening up here soon. There's another company, right? And went to go look at that. Then went to go meet with the client. Made a quick $700. Came home. Prepared dinner. Then we hung out. Watched some Netflix. We chilled. And now I'm here.
You showered before
I did
that?
shower, right?
Okay.
Okay, cool.
That was what my day looked like. Because I chose it. I wanted it to be that way. But I still made $700. Right? Because I again, you have to learn how to make money. If you don't learn, there's no such thing as just one way of making money, right?
Yeah.
How many income streams do you have, bro?
4. Sorry.
So for you guys to sit here and say that you can't create money, it could be created.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can create it. Just latch on to people who are already doing it, learn as much as you can, and go do it yourself.
Exactly.
And bet on yourself. I promise you, the day you choose to bet on yourself, and you're willing to go all in on yourself, you will see and finally be able to accomplish the success that you've always been striving for.
So I guess we're gonna end it here.
Just throw the mic. Just throw the mic down. Bam!
No, we need the mic to work.
God damn, that was nuggets for days.
We're gonna put your contact information on our show notes.
They can reach me at metrofundfinancial.com if you want to fix your credit. My team will do a kick-ass job.
I was a client.
Facebook.
I just checked my credit. I got a 796.
Damn, son.
Wow.
Damn, son.
796.
Metro Fund.
796.
Good stuff, bro.
You can find me on Facebook, Pablo Perez, Instagram, Mr. Credit, Snapchat, Mr. Perez, Mister Perez, and the number 1, in case you want to add me, Danny. And
Ghana's Network.
Ghana's Network. We have a podcast
Yes,
too.
listen
That's
to a
another thing
podcast.
I do, right? But yeah, Ghana's Network is definitely cracking. And I just want to shout out definitely to you guys, because you guys, I don't know if you guys really realize, like, you guys are a pioneer of like a hookah movement. Hookah lounges has been around for years, decades, but you guys took it to people, and you guys should understand that you guys want to capitalize on the fact that you're the pioneer of that. Like, I've seen you guys were going to create a course, right, on how to start your own business.
Yep.
It's coming out.
And there's people who are requesting, hey, I want to know more about that.
Yeah.
I mean, capitalize on that. Like, you guys are pioneers of something. That you guys should be proud of that. But you guys need to capitalize on that. You guys have a following. You guys need to monetize that following. Learn how to monetize your people that are following you, that are chasing you, that are wanting to learn from you, or even the clients and customers that are currently buying from you. Monetize on them. Learn how to upsell them. Learn how to, have them buy more. Because you guys have a lot of products within your industry that you guys can upsell for all the time. Always learn to upsell. Take you to another level. And for having me on the podcast, man, I appreciate it. It's cool being here. I feel like sometimes my mouth just keeps running, but I think it's because I just want to see my friends succeed. Because I remember when we were all chasing that dream, when we would show up in fucking suits and ties. I fucking hate ties. I fucking hate suits. That's why I'm so anti, suit and shit like that. Nice stuff. I don't need that shit.
Spending my last dollar just to get inside the briefing.
Or having to go early and set up the event so you don't have to pay for the event.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
We all came from that. And it would be the most coolest thing in the world for all of us to say, instead of let's have a little get together, you know, here and have dinner or whatever, let's all fucking fly to Hawaii or something and hang out there for a week. Like, it can happen. You can do it, you know? I just want my friends to win. I want everybody that I grew up with in that industry to win, because network marketing is not the only way. It's not. And I think we were drilled that so much into our heads that we believe that it's the only way. And we also believe the philosophy of network marketing that part-time is the way to build a business. It's not true. Sometimes you got to be all in. Mark Cuban didn't build his businesses part-time. Bill Gates didn't do it part-time. Steve Jobs didn't do it part-time. All these fucking guys started in a garage just like you. And look at what they did. But that's because they were all in on themselves.
Yep.
They went all in. And that's what I learned, is you just gotta be all in on yourself, you know? And I want you guys to win, man.
Thank you.
You know? I think all of you guys have the same skills I have. You know? All of you guys have the same skills Boo has. And Tuan, you know? We're all different industries, all learning to make money in different ways. But my point is, if we're able to generate that kind of income, why can't you?
That's right.
We all came from the same cloth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All of us did. And me and Omero, shout out to my partner, Fergana's Network. We're going to be launching also a marketing company, and I should say a direct marketing and mail company and call center. And that'll be launching in June.
That's right.
And that'll be another corporation. Probably won't make no money off of that shit either.
But you will.
But at the end of the year, I'll get big profits from each one of them, like dividends, you know. But anyways, I just want everybody to win, man. So just spoke from the heart today, and I was really talking to you guys.
Thank you, bro.
Because I want you guys to be full time, man. Full time on whatever you love to do.
That's right.
Anyways, peace out.
All right. Have a good night, folks.
That's again, shout out to Pablo. Thank you for being here, bro. And you can find us as well on bringthefire.com, Bring the Fire Snapchat. Trying to get up on that. Instagram, straight flexing. And on top of that, make sure you go check out hookahmd.com, the cure to your hookah needs. All right, everybody? Peace out.
Boom.
Peace.